Hey everyone, let's talk about how to remove this show more options context menu in Windows 11. Well, actually the first option is for you to hold down the shift while right clicking that. So you get the older style of context menu which is available on Windows 10 and before that. So actually this is very simple to enable and disable it. Just execute the registry file that I upload in the description below. Okay, so let's take a look at what the registry files do. So the first one is to disable the show more options, which is probably the one that you are looking for. This basically adds this key to the Windows registry, and you can do this without admin permission. So I tried this in my corporate laptop, it works very well. And then if you want to revert that, then you're gonna take a look at the enable show more options.rec. So how to execute these guys is you just go to the files that you have downloaded, make sure the extensions are .reg. When you disable the show more options, which means you are going back to the older context menu, you will be prompted with this. So this is not administrator permission, guys. So yeah, you can get it straight away, no problem. What you need to do after disabling the show more options is actually go to the task manager. So you can right click on the taskbar. Alternatively, you can also press Ctrl Shift Escape to access the task manager directly. And then from here, you need to find the process called Windows Explorer and then just go ahead and press Restart Task. So basically, your Windows Explorer will be restarted, and then click again the File Explorer, and then we want to see that, yeah, the old context menu is back. So let's take a look. Yep, this is the old context menu where you have all the options. You have all the options without actually having to access the show more options. The thing about the show more options is that it requires the developer of the apps to support the new context menu, whereas this one has been there for many years. Okay, that's all. So additional tips for you guys. So regarding the task manager, for the older version of Windows, we do not have the restart button. So if we head on to any of these processes, right, there's no restart. So if there's no restart, means what you can do is you go to the details and then stop the task that you want to stop. So let's say press end task or just press delete button on your keyboard, and then you can then run a process, run new task. It's also available on Windows 10, and then type in explorer.exe. As long as this is located in the Windows directory or any processes that is located in the environment variables directory, it should be fine. There you go. Our Windows Explorer is back. And then an additional tips on how do I get this registry command right. So typically, modifications like this requires registry edit. So you can think of the registry edit like variables or parameters of the Windows. So not everything will be modifiable. Just if you are curious if the thing can be modified, then you can ask ChatGPT on how to do it. So you might want to have a hint first that you can actually do this with registry. So you can ask something like this, and then fortunately ChatGPT understands that. But many times, even if you ask a very simple question, most likely ChatGPT will be able to direct you to the correct solution without having to understand that this is registry. So you have this as the answer. So actually I found out that you don't need both of these commands, but I'm not sure whether it's related to an older version of Windows 11 or what. Yeah, so just in case, we can also include this in the registry file. And then you create .reg file and then just paste a thing there. After you do the modification, of course, you need to repeat the previous step, which is to double click on the disable more options, add the information to the registry, and then you restart your Explorer and it will just work. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe.